Welcome to Cord Cutting Today for February 9th, 2023. This is the show where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now and give you our opinions on them. Now, this is my opinion. If you want to learn more about these stories and come up with your own thoughts, check out the show notes down below and in the first pinned comment. I'll put a link to each story there so you can read them for yourself and come up with your own opinions. I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. Before we get started, could you help us grow this channel? Could you help us support our families? All you have to do is just hit that subscribe button or hit that thumbs up. Doing one or both lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, so YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow, helping us support our families. With that said, let's start off with the deal of the day. Paramount's free month. Yes, you can get a free month of Paramount Plus right now with a special code. Is expiring in a couple days. So if you want to get in on this deal, check out the show notes down below and in the first pinned comment for a free month of Paramount Plus, just in time for the new Star Trek Picard season to start. Check it out. Link in the show notes with a code inside the link. All right, let's jump into it. Big story of the day is the FCC has approved Amazon's home internet service for launching of over 3,000 satellites into space. This system will be very similar, but a little different than SpaceX's Starlink service. Will A, give Space Link competition, B, bring home internet to more rural Americans, and C, offer competition. I think for a lot of people, even if you aren't necessarily a rural underserved person, having another option for home internet would be great. It wasn't that long ago that you may have had one or two true high-speed internet options. Now we have Verizon home internet, T-Mobile home internet, Starlink, soon Amazon home internet, a growing list of other fiber companies, fixed wireless customers, and more offering high-speed wireless, fixed fiber, whatever it may be, home internet. I actually think this is great. There's been multiple studies that have shown that when more competitors enter the market, typically data caps fall or get completely eliminated and prices come down. Now, that's not an instant thing, right? It doesn't instantly, oh, Amazon announced a new home internet. We're going to suddenly see data caps vanish from the few, let's be honest, the increasingly fewer services out there that offer them, and we're not going to see pricing fall overnight. But competition traditionally has shown over time, as people get competitive, try to attract customers, that forces the existing companies to get competitive to keep their customers or attract new ones, and we see internet changes. Now, Comcast did not add that many broadband customers in the last fiscal quarter of 2022. Instead, we see a bunch of issues. A hurricane had a little part of it, and they like to blame it mostly on the hurricane disconnects throughout Florida with that. But in the reality is, it's a lot of the fact that T-Mobile saw big growth, that Verizon home internet's seeing growth, SpaceX is seeing growth. A lot of people who may not be heavy internet users, if you're not a gamer, you may not care, and so you may look for a slower option that's maybe offering you a better deal. And while none of these services offer the ideal situation, they're not bad. So keep a close eye on this. Amazon wants to be competitive in the pricing. Amazon, of course, I'm sure will offer a bundle deal with their Prime membership if you go that way. So check it out. Let me know what you think of Amazon's home internet service. All right, let's keep moving along. Sling TV is launching a free streaming service called FreeStream. Now, Sling TV has offered a free bundle of channels. If you just went into the app and didn't subscribe, there was always a bunch of on-demand content and some free content. Now they're launching a much more Pluto TV, Zumo, Crackle, Local Now, Amazon's service, Freeview, etc. There are so many of these services now, and it's one of the fastest growing parts of cord cutting right now is the fact that ad-supported free streaming is the kind of the new form of cord cutting. Increasingly, people are ditching paid services for these free ones because honestly, they're really, really good. And if you're not a sports fan, if you're not a news fan, these are great, but these also offer news. It's a really great option here. But yes, right now, starting today on Roku and a collection of smart TVs like LG, Samsung, and Vizio, you'll be able to access this now. Now they say coming up soon, Fire TV, Apple TV, etc. will be updated to offer this new free improved one. It does offer a lot more content. You can of course have things like ABC News Live, which is a free one. You also have ESPN On Demand, a bunch of on-demand ESPN content of their shows and more. So there's a lot of content here for free coming to Sling TV that you probably really should check out. It's a really nice option here if you are not interested in signing up for Sling TV. You still may want to download it just to check out this huge catalog. Local Now, Pluto TV, Crackle, Zumo, Freeview. There are so many of these free. The Roku channel, how do I forget that one? Free ad-supported streaming services out there with tons of movies and content. The new Sling free stream has 210 channels and over 41,000 on-demand movies and television shows available to watch for free with ads. So check that out. Link in the show notes down below if you want to find out more about that. All right, Disney's made some big changes. Now, yesterday they announced their first quarter 2023 earnings. Now, Disney's fiscal year is a little different. They try to end it before Christmas, so that's why we're reporting their first 2023, even though it really is 2022's fourth quarter. But Disney is announcing that they're reorganizing a couple things. There's 3 divisions now. Parks, makes sense, all their amusement parks. Entertainment, all their streaming and TV and ABC and all that stuff. And then ESPN. So ESPN is getting kind of kicked out here. ESPN is going to be its own thing. Honestly, may not be a bad move because while sports is entertainment, it's very different than running a traditional cable network, for example, that's just showing the Disney Channel, for example. I think it's very different. But Disney has big plans for it, and they have some things with it that they're going to be making some changes. One is they want to be a little bit more cautious on what they're spending on for sports and what they're spending money on to get rights for. You saw that recently with the Big Ten Network or Big Ten Sports. ESPN didn't renew their contract with the Big Ten. Fox, CBS, NBC did, and now their content or their sporting events will air on those networks over there. But Disney also has said when they were asked, Bob Iger was asked about the future of ESPN becoming a standalone streaming service. Now, I know some people are like, well, there already is one, ESPN Plus. Well, that doesn't offer a live feed of the main channels. We're talking about a live feed of the main channels here. And Disney said, yes, we can, Disney CEO, Bob Iger, I should say, says, yes, we do intend to offer this as a standalone service for customers to subscribe to directly without the need for cable, just not yet. He says, of course, we're always studying this. And he said, if you're asking me if I think this is inevitable, yes, I do believe it's inevitable that this will happen. Just don't know when. So that is good news in one way. And it's also something we've kind of heard before, but it was a very aggressive, very straightforward, yeah, we intend to do this. We just don't know when ESPN will become a standalone service. If Disney does that, let's be honest, Disney's kind of a leader when it comes to cable networks right now. If one of the biggest out there pulls out of the so-called cable bundle, this idea that if you want ESPN, you also have to get the Disney Channel and FX and all these other Disney-owned properties, I think a lot of other people would do that. And I think that could be a real hard death nail for cable TV as we know it today. Do I think it will happen this year? No. Do I think it will happen sooner than you expect? Could be. Very likely in the next 5 years or so, we will see ESPN and most cable networks selling directly to consumers. That probably does mean, though, a lot of cable networks won't survive. Those MTV2s, those other networks, heck, even CNN right now in its current form would probably struggle to survive if it had to go a la carte to the current customers. So we'll see what happens there with it. Now with this, Disney did announce that 7,000 customers are going to be losing their 7,000 employees are going to be losing their jobs across all 3 divisions, ESPN, Parks, and Entertainment. Now that comes as Disney Plus lost about 2,000 subscribers with that. Now that may sound like a lot, but Disney works out to roughly 3% of Disney's employees. They have 220,000 employees across all these divisions. Even if you take all 7,000 from Parks, you think about all the parks they have worldwide, that's a lot of people. It probably won't be that overly noticeable. There's been talk that Disney's overstaffed in some areas, understaffed in others. It could be one of these situations. We see this a lot when they say they're laying people off. Hey, your job doesn't exist here. We do have jobs over here if you want to take it. If not, we're sorry. We've enjoyed working with you, but we don't need you in that position anymore. So we'll see what happens. That's what I suspect to happen. That's more common in these kind of moves than you think, because from talking to people that work at Disney, that's what they're saying. Some areas are overstaffed, other areas are understaffed. Redistributing this could help with their hiring problem, but it could also help with their overall cost count because some of these people won't accept these changes for it. We'll have to see what happens, but Disney Plus did lose about 2 million subscribers. That's better than expected with the price hike. People expected Disney Plus to lose even more subscribers, but it didn't. So good news for Disney on one front. And my heart goes out to all the tech people out there. A lot of companies have been laying off recently. Zoom just announced yesterday too that they're laying off employees. All right, let's keep moving along. Vizio's TV owners will now be able to send videos and photos from their phone anywhere to their TV or to a TV where they've been invited to help manage it. This new Vizio, what do they call it? Here we go. Viziogram is kind of like casting your photos and videos from your phone through like a Chromecast or whatever to your TV. The problem right now is you have to be on the same home network. Now they're setting this up so you can send it even if you're not, which may seem like, why would you want to send videos and photos to your TV if you're not actually there to see them? I think grandparents, right? Your grandparents are there to say, hey, we got a new video of your grandkids. Here, let me send this to your TV. You can watch it there. And you don't have to try to explain to them how to open Facebook Messenger or a text message or whatever on their new iPhone or Android. The catch here, though, is you have to be invited. These are encrypted. You create an account for your TV, and then you can invite people to do it. And if you don't invite them, people can't send it. It's not like some people can just randomly send it with that. But I think it's a pretty cool feature here. I really do like the option for it. And I think this is a great way for Vizio to try to stand out. The ability here to say, hey, we could be the TV for you by your grandparents because you can send them pictures. Let me know if you think you would use that at all. For my grandparents, my two remain grandmas, I think they would absolutely love the ability for us to be down here on vacation in Florida and send videos and photos to them on their TV for them to easily see it. All right, let's keep moving along. Netflix announces what it's going to cost you to share your Netflix account. Now, Netflix has talked about for some time cracking down on password sharing. They're going to start charging people specific prices for viewing your content from another person. So they announced in select markets, not the US yet, they're not going to start charging you extra to share it, but in Canada it's going to cost you about $8 a month. In Portugal, about $3.99 a month. And what I find funny is right next door in Spain, it's actually going to cost you $5.99 a month. Kind of interesting that Portugal and Spain, both in euros, significantly different pricing on that. The idea here is you're going to have to set your home network. There's all kinds of provisions for travel. But in the end, if they think you are viewing it from outside your home market, you're going to have to pay extra to subscribe for an extra account for people to view it outside your home and share your Netflix password. One thing I think that may backfire here for Netflix is, well, this may deter some people. You may find a lot of people say, well, if Netflix is making it official that I can officially share my passwords legally, and it's cheaper for us to split this Netflix bill even with the more expensive price than to have two individual Netflix accounts, it may actually drive a lot of people to password share and share their accounts when they may not have. I really do wonder if this is going to backfire, because for instance, in Portugal, for $3.99, I can add a whole nother account basically to my Netflix account and let my brother and I can 50-50 this total bill and have a cheaper bill than having Netflix alone. That raises questions on if I want to do that or not. Let me know what you think, if you think this will backfire or not. No US rollout yet. More countries coming in the future. We'll cover that when the time comes. All right, and lastly, the Pac-12 network could be becoming a streaming-only service by the end of the year. It's been reported in multiple places now that the Pac-12 network, its new media deal that's coming up this year, could result in most Pac-12 games for this upcoming football season being streaming only, and the Pac-12 network partnering with a major streaming service. Amazon rumors have been flying around. We don't know if it's Amazon, Google, all kinds of places, Apple TV, that would become the way that people watch Pac-12 sporting events. But that does mean that the Pac-12 network is probably going to go away as we know it today. Cord cutting is coming. Cord cutting is growing fast. Pac-12 network has always struggled. It's been one of the least successful conference sports networks out there, at least amongst the big group of five. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. But cord cutting is growing. More and more services like the Pac-12 network that are mid and sub channels are going to have to increasingly look at becoming streaming only. And the Pac-12 network may be one of the first to do it. Well, there you go. Hey, if you made it to the end, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here so YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow, helping us support our families here. We would appreciate it. We'll be back with another video tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Be safe. Thank you for your support.